I haven't done a walking vlog in a long time. Mostly because I look kind of strange doing it. Well, that's not mostly it, but I just haven't, whatever, there's no excuse really. I just haven't, so okay, deal with it. I need to get out and walk more. Actually, since Friday until yesterday, I've had one meal per day. That's not so bad. People have already commented like, Colin, you losing weight? I'm like, I'm trying, I think adding walking, well, I know adding walking will just help with that. I'm just tired of being big. I've been saying that for 10 plus years, but I'm 30. I've already lived 3 months past what my cousin got to, because the dude was like the same weight, maybe an inch taller than me, and he died 5 days before he turned 30, and it was due to congestive heart failure. It's a super sad story. I'm too out of breath to tell it all right now. Okay, keep the breath in. It would just be a lot easier if I was smaller. Plus, I'm never going to be a thin guy. Never going to be small. But I just want to reshape myself. I've said this before too. I want to be one of those guys that you take a look at and you just don't want to mess with. Like, they're big, but you know that they're quick, that they can do freaking cardio. No gut, they're just all bicep and shoulders. Like Eddie Hall, I just want to reshape myself and still be a big dude. Just be a much healthier big dude. Anyways, that's not exactly what I hopped on here to talk about. What was the purpose? What I'm trying to talk about is something that my mentor has brought to light in the past month. He asked me, have you heard of unholy or ungodly soul ties? I was like, yeah, I think I have. I don't really know what that is, though. So he gave me some information about it. And, like, even in the Bible, it talks about soul ties. Jonathan's soul was knit with David's. And Jonathan loved his soul as his own. Talks about that in 1 Samuel 18. Then in Ephesians, Paul talks about the two becoming one flesh in marriage. But then I think in 1st and 2nd Corinthians, he talks about the soul fragmenting in fornication outside of marriage. So there's godly, holy soul ties. And then there's definitely ungodly, unholy soul ties. The most common is through fornication outside of marriage. But you can also develop soul ties emotionally if they become like an idol in your life. I've been open about having a porn and sex addiction online before. I don't feel like totally trudging it all up right now. But some homework that my mentor gave me is to make a list of everybody that I can remember, which is a lot. And go through and prayerfully combat those soul ties with the Lord. Because I don't have the power to cleanse my heart. God does. So, in Jesus' name, cleansing those soul ties is important. And in importance that I didn't even realize was important. My mentor was even challenged to pray against the soul ties of various brands of alcohol that were idols in his life. Not just alcohol, but specific brands, which tells me that I have a lot of work to do as far as praying against soul ties that I've partnered with in the past. Portals that they may very well be invitations to torment in my life that wouldn't be there if the soul tie wasn't. It's all pretty fascinating to me, and the fact that it's biblical also adds a level of urgency to it. So I've been praying them out loud, like, Lord, I pray against the soul tie from this particular person. If there be any semblance of a soul tie still at play with that person, I pray in Jesus' name that you sever it. And hopefully as I go through the list and am thorough, I'll start to see some freedom from strongholds in my life. I challenge each and every one of you to do the exact same thing. Anyways, that's my spiel on that. Just went to the grocery store, got myself some stuff. This is nice though. It's fun to do a walk and talk vlog like I haven't in a while. You know, people asked about them. One person asked about them. I was like, okay, fine, I'll cave. No. I miss doing these. I miss doing podcasts. I miss just being able to create videos in a space that was like safe and convenient enough to create them in. It's hard to find a space that's quiet enough to like hear myself freaking think, much less make content. Living in a house with 20 dudes, but whatever. I'm trying to do what I can. Oh, before I end this, quick little story. On the bus today, on the way here home, we stop in Sisters and pick up 2 new recruits. No. People on the bus, whatever. And I could tell immediately they were going to be fun. One of them was like this Melissa McCarthy lady with like 14 bags. She comes on. Didn't even finish her sentence. Just a hot mess. Then there's this 85-year-old dude who comes on and sits down. And just from the get-go, he starts asking the bus driver question after question, different variations of like the same question. The bus driver finally starts ignoring him, and he's like, oh, you can't hear me. No, that's not the case, hun. I felt like going, any more questions, sir? Any more? So obnoxious. He went on for 15 minutes. Anytime that he was quiet, I knew he is wrecking his brain for another question. There it is. There's the next one. Right as he starts winding down from his questioning, the hot mess lady, Melissa McCarthy, she gets a phone call. And she goes on and on for 15 minutes until the freaking network drops her call. And she's like talking about her back pain, and it's all woe is me, me. So then, towards the end of the bus ride, it shouldn't have made me as happy as it did, but the bus driver has to slam on the brakes, okay? The old dude is standing up in the middle of the aisle. Normally, he would have a walker, but the dude flies forward. And the lady beside me not directly beside me, but like to my right and back an aisle, the hot mess lady. She is sitting sideways in her seat with her legs up because her back hurts. And I see her go flying, and it's just so beautiful to have something I was so annoyed at prior come full circle and be redeemed. Because when the old dude flew forward and I saw this lady in pain, I sat there like this. God really does fight our battles.